Time now for a quick ride on BMW's all-new luxury touring motorcycle, the BMW K1200RT. At the heart of this beauty is the same 1171cc inline-4 found on BMW's K1200RS. However, different pistons and a revised engine management system have pushed the overall horsepower numbers down from 130 to 100. And as a result, the torque characteristics of the LT power plant are very different from its cousin, the RS. Mated to the engine is a 5-speed tranny, however the 5th gear is used as an overdrive. In the suspension department, you'll find BMW's paralever and telelever components, while an independent braking system boasts ABS as a standard option. And speaking of options, the LT is available in Canada in 2 configurations, Standard and Highline. And let me tell you, the list of standard goodies is pretty impressive. Electric reverse, electric windscreen, cruise control, all-round heated seats and grips, AM/FM cassette, and adjustable seats are all standard. While the Highline adds a 6-pack CD, more chrome, thicker seats, plus an onboard computer that keeps track of your fuel consumption, fuel range, average speed, and outdoor temperature. And how does the LT cruise? Well, on this press launch in Texas, we were fortunate enough to hook up with some of the best motorcycle journalists in the world. During a lunch stop, we pulled several from their bowls of chili to get their impressions of the K1200RT.
It's good. I mean, BMW knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they could look at everything that has gone before, and this kind of fully fared luxury touring bike has been around now for nearly 20 years. Harley did the first one, their old Tour Glide, but BMW, with a clean sheet of paper, just managed to start everything, and as far as I can see, after 3 hours and 150 miles, they've got it all pretty much right.
It's been a long time coming. You know, we've seen this bike first at the Munich show, and then of course all the rumors and what have you. So I was pretty excited to get on and take it for a spin. And the first thing I was surprised about, first thing I noticed, is how much torque there is down low. This engine is famous for that, of course, but it's got even more in this bike. And as you said earlier, you spend your first 10 minutes on the machine short shifting it, not even getting it to 5,000 RPM or so. And suddenly you realize after a little bit that, hey, I can open this thing up, and it'll rev up to 8,500 RPM before it runs out of steam. So it's a goer. Shifting is real good. In fact, this is the best example of this transmission I've come across so far. Very smooth, very easy to shift. Instruments are well laid out, great wind protection. The bike feels big. I mean, it doesn't feel small at first. That's one of the great things about the Goldwing. You hop on that bike, and despite its enormous appearance, it really feels small once you start riding it. And this one still feels big for a while, but especially, I guess, because the instrument panel is so far from you, and you have this enormous spread of instrumentation and speakers and handlebars and everything stretched out before you. But in short order, you get the knack of it. When you get on the Goldwing, and comparisons with that bike are inevitable, until you really learn how to use the unified braking system on it, the front brake is very disappointing. You know, it's very sort of vague feeling, and you have to use the rear brake all the time. You know, that's not the case on this bike. You can hammer the front brake. There's no dive up front because of the telelever system, and it stops hard, very hard. The ABS on top of that just adds even more confidence if you learn how to use it.
The overall balance of the performance is way higher than I expected. Most big luxury touring bikes go well, work well, but you're clearly conscious that you're sitting a long way from the front wheel, and that the bike is long and sort of heavy and so on. This thing physically has all that stuff. I mean, look at the handlebars. You're a foot and a half back from the front fork, and the wheelbase is humongous and all that, but it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels very sporty, very confident at high speed.
It's you know, it's a very good, it's a very well-built motorcycle. It really is a very well-turned-out machine. I personally find all these coverings over the handlebars to be a bit much, but this is what touring riders want. And BMW has given it to them.